Family Guy has tackled the biggest corporations out there. Some brands didn't like that at all. One of them yanked Family Guy off their platforms. Another one even got so provoked, they bought the studio behind the show just so they could decide which jokes get aired or not. Today, we're looking at all the times big brands and companies got absolutely wrecked by Family Guy. Starting with the car brand, Porsche. In the episode Dating Game, Stewie realizes he's had back pain and has to go to Dr. Hartman. This is where the sad news comes that he's suffering from scoliosis. The only thing to help the poor chap is for him to wear a brace. You know, the way you see someone with a hand cast and people queue up wanting to sign it? That was the same kind of favorite treatment Stewie got for his brace when he showed up at preschool.
Such a trooper. I thought maybe you could be the first in line for snack today.
Really?
All that extra attention was just a teeny bit suspicious, and Stewie could only think of one thing to compare it to.
Well, I say, that was a pleasant surprise. You know, like when a woman in a Porsche Cayenne isn't a complete bitch.
That line as he set up was already bad for Porsche, because, I mean, if it could be any other car brand, right? But can we really argue against the words of the same person who built a time machine? Exactly.
Huh. Wow, I did not expect that.
I wasn't telling you to go. I was trying to smell my own fart.
What makes this roast even better is the fact that everyone on Reddit seemed to agree that it's completely accurate. But if Porsche thought that was bad, then what would be said about this next company that Family Guy took a shot at? Diet Coke. In the episode Spies Reminiscent of Us, after Lois gets in a fight over using the bathroom first, Peter had to find somewhere else to relieve himself, especially when there's an elephant in the second bathroom.
Oh, excuse me. Good morning.
Peter finally settled to use the bathroom in Cleveland's house because Cleveland's house was vacated and unoccupied. And after that, he never wanted to take a dump elsewhere. What does this have to do with Diet Coke users? Well, it's because in Peter's defense, the same way he obsesses over things like a man-child is the same way he obsessed over using the bathroom. Even when Lois called him out on it, he quickly shut it down and told her that Cleveland's bathroom was the greatest discovery. To electricity? Nope. To this.
It's the greatest discovery since fat women discovered Diet Coke.
Now I can eat anything!
That was a burn. Seems everyone on the internet seemed to agree with that roast and called out the silliness of Diet Coke, because why would you order the entire menu and think drinking a Diet Coke will balance out all those calories? And that specific president being referred to was in the episode Trump Guy. While Peter and Trump were fighting, Trump somehow was the stronger one and repeatedly hit Peter's head on the red button on his desk. It was a button to summon a Diet Coke. I'm just going to say, I think the message was quite subtle enough. How did Coke respond to all of these jabs? Well, they made an ad where they had an inflated balloon form of Stewie fight the underdog for a Coke. Pretty certain that could have been a cutaway gag with that setup from Stewie being, "This is weirder than the time I was a balloon fighting underdog for a bottle of Coke." Coke handled it all in good spirit. When you're a multi-billion-dollar brand, you actually have to. But one brand that Family Guy was absolutely spot on, the company had no choice but to play along, was this next big brand, Samsung. In the episode Candy Quahog Marshmallow, Peter and the rest of the guys discover that Quagmire was a movie star in a Korean soap opera, and the name of his character was American Johnny. The guys were super invested in the soap opera that they binge-watched everything. The last episode, though, was not in Quagmire's house, so they immediately booked themselves a plane ticket to Korea.
American Johnny! Holy crap, Quagmire, you're famous here!
It turned out they might have just underestimated how popular Quagmire was as American Johnny, but while everyone recognized him and wanted a picture, Family Guy used that chance to take shots at Samsung.
Johnny! American Johnny is back! I take a picture with the giant Samsung phone. Giant Samsung phone is also tiny Kia car.
That was funny, but does Samsung make cars? Well, sort of. Samsung got into the car business back in 1998 with help from Nissan. The cars were basically Korean-made versions of Nissan models. Then in 2000, Renault bought most of Samsung's auto division, though Samsung still owns about 20%. The cars were sold under the name Renault Samsung and were mostly built in Korea. Today, the company's called Renault Korea Motors, and Samsung Card still holds a 19.9% stake. Anyway, sorry for the mini history lesson. Maybe Family Guy was just mocking how huge Samsung tablets are and I'm reading too much into it. Just like how Family Guy directly threw a jab at Kia directly without mincing words.
For the Channel 5 Sports Report, brought to you by Kia. Kia, too bad it's a Kia.
But while that was specifically for Kia, another simple shade they threw at Samsung was in the episode 3 Directors, where they parodied Michael Bay's blockbuster type of movies. So in the parody, Peter, Joe, and Cleveland showed up to fight Decepticons, and they came up with the latest gadgets, one of which Joe proudly flaunted.
According to the calculations on my Microsoft Surface, they have advanced cloaking technology. The Microsoft Surface confirms it. Microsoft Surface
My Samsung Gear S2 watch says the same.
They used one stone to kill two birds, Microsoft and Samsung. But if they came for Samsung, you can as well bet that Family Guy must have also taken shots at Apple and the iPhone. In the episode Scammed Yankee, Brian is at first irritated by Meg's friends, but his opinion changes after he takes them to field hockey practice and ends up walking in on a partially dressed Patty in the changing room, instantly becoming attracted to her. He gets home and just can't wait to tell Stewie all about what he saw, and Stewie had this to say.
You want her even more than I wanted the new iPhone.
How's it going?
Good, just looking forward to getting that new phone.
What are you talking about? This isn't the Apple Store. This is a super gay club.
Yeah.
So, is it gay to queue up for the latest iPhone? I wish I knew that before I made an order for the iPhone 17. But another shot that Family Guy threw at Apple was when Peter and the guys went with Quagmire to the Apple Store to get a new phone. And while there, this interaction happened.
What do you think, Peter? Peter?
I touched the iPhone headphone.
Thank goodness for the AirPods, because this was a real struggle with the headphones. So many people could relate to the roast. The same way they could relate to the shot Family Guy fired at this next brand, Starbucks.
Hey, come on. Anything's possible. Like when that Starbucks cup made it onto Game of Thrones.
This is it! Here it comes! Here it comes! Hey! Oh my god, that's so cool!
The context behind this, for those who don't get it, in the 4th episode of the 8th season of Game of Thrones, something resembling a Starbucks coffee cup was spotted in the middle of a scene. This was in Winterfell's celebratory dining hall scene when Jon Snow was being praised while Daenerys Targaryen looked on rather unhappily. And while Dany kept staring at the two friends, the Starbucks cup was just chilling on the table. So this was more of a shade to HBO and how huge a TV series could allow such a mistake. But if you ask me, it's exactly everything that was wrong with the last season of the show. And Family Guy could not resist making fun of both Starbucks and HBO at the same time.
What's the internet saying?
They thought you were great.
But a more direct shade at Starbucks was in the episode The Old Man and the Big C. Ryan and Stewie secretly followed Carter to be sure he was the real person and not an imposter. And so, when Carter pulls up at Starbucks, Brian believed they'd caught him because, well...
Okay, now we've got him. The real Carter would never go to a Starbucks. He thinks they're too liberal and pretentious.
Just how many people hold that opinion other than Carter? It turned out that Carter wasn't really there to grab a coffee. Well, technically he was, but it was just more of a prank. Just so Family Guy could throw the shade at Starbucks.
Latte for Cecil? Beanie?
None of those people are real. I'm stealing all your sugar packets and napkins. Woodstock's over.
That was just hilarious from Carter, especially given his political opinion that Family Guy has portrayed him as. Starbucks used to generally be associated with hipsters. Maybe not hippies, but generally that's the type of fringe leftist kind of person. Carter basically just hates leftists because he's rich and made a vague joke about it. But Family Guy was still not done throwing shade at Starbucks. In the season 23 episode Gift of the White Guy, Stewie was trying all he could to make sure he gets on Santa's nice list as he was going about doing good. And one of his nice deeds was being very generous with his tip at Starbucks, but then that backfired quickly.
Wow, $1,000. Thanks.
So, how's it gonna change your life?
Oh, it's not. I'm the CEO of Starbucks doing an undercover boss. This is going straight to union busting.
What made this even better was the reactions from people to the joke and the tipping experience at Starbucks. That last comment asked Starbucks to go for robots, and while Starbucks hasn't done that yet, this other company did something like that and got roasted by Family Guy as well. Amazon. In the episode Take a Letter, Lois takes a job with Cleveland to deliver mails. Cleveland doesn't mind putting her on and showing her the ropes. So one evening while they're going out delivering mail, a drone sails. Not just any drone, but an Amazon delivery drone.
It's that Amazon drone. Try to ignore it.
Hey, Cleveland, what are you doing? Taking a walk?
No, I'm delivering mail.
By foot? Yeah, that won't take too long. Well, gotta go. Gotta deliver these fat pants to your fat son.
He was harsh, but not untruthful.
Cleveland was pretty chill about it, but Family Guy was not done coming at Amazon and their drones. In the episode of Bander Blockbuster, Peter wanted the family to spend time together, so he suggested an old-fashioned movie night by renting a film from Blockbuster. The kids didn't like that at all. They were rather looking forward to streaming a film, but Peter was so set on renting a movie that he even had the family take a trip all the way to Oregon because that was the only Blockbuster still open. At the end of the day, all that journey ends with them getting chased through the woods by two shotgun-wielding employees because Peter owed a massive late fee.
Guys, please. I'm the one with the late fees. Don't hurt my family. I'll do anything.
As they faced being shot execution style, Peter had no option but to finally man up and apologize to the kids for his constant screw-ups. But just before it was all over, who swoops in to save the day? The police? No, a fleet of Amazon drones.
How did you even know we were here?
Based on your recent purchases, viewing habits, and stored data, we determined that you were being chased through the wilderness by the last two Blockbuster employees on Earth.
Wow.
Family Guy making Amazon the hero and at the same time calling them out for their privacy breach is exactly on brand. But sometimes, even the very brand mascot of the company can be used to mock it, which is exactly what they did to this next brand, McDonald's. In the episode Road to Europe, Stewie is sad over his trip to Europe being a complete disaster. Brian tries to comfort him by suggesting a trip to McDonald's, but Stewie refuses. He would rather poop in Mother Maggie's shoes, who by the way is the host of his favorite TV show, Jolly Farms.
You want to take a dump in Mother Maggie's shoes? Okay, let's go take a dump in Mother Maggie's shoes.
But if the casual reference to McDonald's didn't pass the message, Family Guy had to make sure it trolled McDonald's even harder. So, in the episode Peter Geist, after Peter had messed with an ancient skull, weird things started happening in the house. It got so bad that the house was haunted, and for Chris, what was totally freaking him out at night was a clown. You'd think a clown that would trigger such a fear from him would be Pennywise from It. That's a proper terrifying clown. But Family Guy had a far better idea of what kind of horror clown would strike fear in a child.
Looking clown at the end of my bed would go away.
The crazy part though is that in real life, many parents did not like the clown and found how it looked to be disturbing for their kids. So Family Guy only found it fitting to make McDonald's clown the horror show that some people thought it was. Sometimes when Family Guy comes for a company, it doesn't go out doing so directly. It can create a fake ad for the brand just to make sure it throws a jab at it, which is exactly what they did to Visa MasterCard. In one episode, Peter is excited to get his very own credit card. He hurries to the bar to show off to the boys, all excited like it was some big deal he just scored.
Hey, look who it is. You need us to pay for your drinks again?
No way. Guys, you were looking at the owner of his own credit card.
Hooray! Peter can finally pay for his own drinks and stop freeloading on them. After this, he just goes on to run along and be part of the Visa MasterCard commercial where he just about gets away with anything just for having a credit card.
Do you know if that Mexican doctor takes credit cards?
He does.
If you're scummy and on the go, try the new Visa Gold Card. Visa, it's...
The amount of financial recklessness that Peter did in just this scene alone is wild. Because look at what his immediate pressing need is.
Where to?
Any pet shop that sells snakes.
You just have to wonder, just how much debt is he in? Well, he had a song to answer that.
The card. I'm never gonna pay it back anyway. 'Cause I have $30,000 in credit card debt. When they call, I tell them I can't pay it back.
Visa MasterCard was not really the company getting the roast, as it was more of the debt culture most people were put through, or more accurately, people like Peter. But speaking of going out on a shopping spree and making reckless spending decisions, this next brand still got shots fired at them. Walmart. In the episode Veteran Guy, Peter finds a naval baseball cap at a thrift store, and then he notices he gets special attention just by wearing the cap. Rather than cast it aside, because, I mean, it's stolen valor, he goes raving about it to his friends, telling them about how he's respected these days and the kindness people show him.
Go, they open doors for me.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
You will wonder how opening the door for him is him being treated with respect until Family Guy decides to reveal one of Walmart's policies.
Hey, so when really fat people come, make sure we're opening both doors.
So Family Guy decided to drag Walmart into their joke on Peter. Or is there anyone who can confirm if this is what Walmart does when people of a certain body size walk through their doors? But that wasn't the only time Seth MacFarlane made a joke about Walmart. In another episode, Peter again talks about Walmart greeters, except this time he focuses on someone particularly.
He's the jerk in all this. Like Dick Cheney when he was a Walmart greeter.
Go yourself. Go yourself.
Now, in real life, Senator Patrick Leahy had gotten into an argument with Dick Cheney at the Senate chambers of 2004, and the Cheney had cussed out at him with these exact words. The thing is, it was pretty rare to have anyone cuss out in public office back then, so even though Dick Cheney had never worked at Walmart, the joke is him throwing cuss words around. So it doesn't seem like Family Guy really had enough ammunition to come at Walmart, but this next big company received multiple shots from them. Target. Family Guy has thrown several shades of Target. In the episode Baby Stewie, the guys and their families go to an escape room as a bonding activity. Such a setup requires brains to solve the puzzles and escape, but as you all know, there's only one smart person in the show.
Fibonacci is also a reference to a sequence of numbers where every number after the first two is the sum of the two preceding ones.
The douchebag of a dog, Brian, then goes ahead to pretend to be the smart one, acting like he found the clue himself.
Fibonacci is the name of a number man from the Da Vinci Code, which was written...
What an absolute disgrace. He goes ahead to input the code and the door opens, and suddenly Lois just can't stop praising him like he's some genius, and Family Guy can't resist using that as an opportunity to fire shots at Target.
That is why you bring a dog with you everywhere you go, even in Target, because who's gonna tell you can't? The dead-eyed employees? No, they won't, because they're cowards.
That was such a burn, but I don't think Lois was lying at all. I mean, they never really have the courage to tell you no, but can you blame them?
Sir? Sir?
What?
Nothing, it's stupid. I'm sorry.
The internet went wild with that one, confirming that it was indeed very accurate to how it plays out. Anyways, Family Guy did not stop setting its sights on Target and firing right at them. Did you see what I did there? In another episode, Lois was fantasizing about running away with a Target cashier, but it turned out Target was actually keeping an eye on its employees.
We could go to Montana.
I want to, but I can't.
Esperanza?
But the Target employees still came out to later meet Lois, running towards her in slow mode like it was some scene from a romantic movie. But the moment she reached Lois, the all-seeing eye of Target had a laser beam fired at her. Maybe this explains why you never see the same employee twice at Target. I mean, that's what people keep saying. But another company that Family Guy really came for in the craziest of ways was this multi-billion-dollar company and their slogan, Nike, just do it. So, what did Family Guy do? Peter made a commercial for them. At first, it sounds like something you can play when hitting your reps at the gym or going for a morning run, but it escalates so very fast.
Don't have one family. Have a second family all the way across the country. Don't just have a second family. Have a third family in Santa Fe with an alternative lifestyle.
If you think the story is wild, you have no idea what comes next, because Peter was just unhinged. It just kept getting worse at every point, and to finally conclude all that chaos going on, this was the next set of Peter's motivation.
Send a message that you're not afraid of hell. Nike. You may not notice, but our full name is Nykel.
You know what made this even crazier? It's the fact that they aired this during the freaking Super Bowl in 1999. But what if they did as a commercial for Nike was crazy? What they put out for this next brand as a commercial was just brutal. Netflix.
Is Netflix streaming the right choice for you? Well, if you like movies in HD, then frozen pixels, then HD again, the answer is yes.
You know, this roast was probably Family Guy saying exactly what's been going on in my mind. There's no argument.
Golden year of movies, 2003, then we might have some of what you're looking for. Netflix streaming. Buffer for 20 minutes, then watch 35 minutes of a movie with Jason Statham.
Netflix probably didn't like being roasted like that, so it seems they took it personal and removed Family Guy from its roster. Okay, to set the facts straight, they didn't remove it. The company that owns the rights to the show opted to ensure it was on their own platforms, no one belonging to the competitor. And the crazy part, that company has also taken several hits from Family Guy, talking about none other than Walt Disney. Family Guy had poked to the fact that Walt Disney was associated with anti-Semitism. In one episode, while setting up a cutaway gag, Peter talks about not trusting Lois anymore because one time she tricked him to where he didn't want to go.
I don't wanna. Oh, you said we were going to a place Walt Disney built.
No, Peter, I said supported.
But the cutaway didn't end there. There was still more to nail Walt Disney with.
By the way, don't go on the train ride.
Listen to Lois. Definitely don't go on the train ride. It won't take you to Disneyland. It was the death train at concentration camps. Now, if that didn't seem to pass the message, Family Guy went straight for blood with this next one.
Welcome back, Mr. Disney.
Are the Jews gone yet?
No.
Put me back in.
Family Guy was on a roll. They were just unafraid to keep roasting Disney. In fact, in the episode Road to Multiverse, while Brian and Stewie were visiting different timelines, they ended up in a multiverse where everything was animated in Disney style.
It seems we're in a universe where everything is drawn by Disney.
It looked like a sweet and lovely universe you can only find in Disney fairy tales until the realization drops that in that world, Mort is Jewish and Disney, well, was still Disney.
Hello, everybody.
So with all this constant jabs coming from Family Guy, how did Disney reply? They bought Family Guy. That's the kind of move you pull when you're a company that's worth over $200 billion. But the irony is the fact that Family Guy is now owned by Disney makes those jokes even funnier. Now, if you think this was crazy, check out this next video of celebrities that got absolutely wrecked by Family Guy. Trust me, it's way more insane than you think.